Good evening, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm Frances Weller.
And I'm John Evans. Tonight, an update on a WECT investigation. Significant flaws with the Battleship North Carolina Commission's financial reporting.
After the state auditor found millions of dollars in reporting errors last year, the team running the ship learned today about even more internal issues. WECT's Connor Smith breaking this down for us tonight. Connor, what kind of problems are we talking about here?
Well, Fran, according to an accounting firm that the Battleship brought in, their systems are outdated, disconnected, and simply not adequate for financial reporting today. During a Finance Committee meeting today, Battleship Executive Director Jay Martin said he's been aware of internal issues since he took over back in 2024. Martin says many of those problems have since been fixed, but they're still working on some other ones. The state auditor's report triggering a deeper review of the Battleship's books. The accounting firm presenting their findings today, they say the Battleship relies too much on just one or two staff members and physical paper instead of a digital process. Martin says that's why they're undergoing fundamental changes.
We're in the process of totally remaking the organization administratively, almost in every aspect of how it works.
And here are some of the recommendations the Battleship received today. Multiple staff members should verify deposits. Staff should compare and verify financial records every month. There should be more training for more staff members, and they should create a detailed financial record of every restricted fund. And during the meeting, Martin also said leadership is looking at upgrading their internal software and realigning some staff positions. It's an issue we're going to continue to keep a close eye on. Connor Smith, WECT News.